Sai Ram, our brother Ram shares with us this week from his home a story entitled Swami Reminds Us.
Sai Ram, everybody. My most humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Swami, thank you very much for giving me and all my brothers and sisters an opportunity to share a few thoughts and share our experiences with Bhagwan. I'm very thankful for this opportunity. I would like to narrate my experience and how Swami brought me into his fold. Swami has often said that you don't come to me until I call you. So we don't come to Bhagwan until Bhagwan calls us. Sai Baba was known to both sides of my family, both my mother's and my father's side of the family. And as a young child growing up, I remember I would visit my grandmother's place in South India, and there would be pictures of Baba on the wall. And as a young child playing around, I would look at those pictures and feel a little scared. Why is he looking at me like that? And is he angry at me? And I would run away from there. So this was my childhood. But as I grew up, and time passed, I didn't much get involved in Sai Baba or Sai Baba's activities or ashram related activities. It wasn't until the late 90s or the early 2000s, after I had graduated and was starting my professional career, that I went through a little bit of a difficult phase. And this is where Swami starts to pull you towards him. When the time is right, he will invite you towards him, and that's your opportunity to learn and understand Swami. So as has happened with hundreds of devotees around the world, thousands of devotees around the world, I was reintroduced to Swami through a book called Man of Miracles. And as I read this book, I was overcome with joy, but also a sense of disbelief. Some of the things that were described in the book were just beyond my understanding, and the curiosity in me started to generate and become stronger and stronger, that I need to see this person, I need to see this divine being that's being described in the book. And luckily for me, at that time, we were able to make a trip to Whitefield and Swami's ashram at Vrindavan. And I distinctly remember my first darshan. I had no idea what to expect. There was a very large crowd, and we were all standing on the men's side, and I was by myself. I didn't know anybody out there, but Swami walks by, right? He does a whole circle of the hall, and as he's coming around the corner a few yards away from me, he stops. Those are the days when Swami used to walk. He looks to his left, his right, then he looks at me, and with a very, very loving yet strong gaze, stares at me for some time, and then raises his hand and moves it in a circular fashion like this, as he used to do. I didn't quite understand at the time what the hand gesture meant, but the gaze that he gave and the steadfast look that was in his eyes, albeit for a few seconds, was so powerful and so magnetic that it has stayed with me till this day. And I think that's one way in which he tries to, or he begins your transformation. He begins to attract you towards him. I can't describe exactly in words what I felt, but it was a deep sense of calm, a deep sense of peace, almost an emptiness for a few seconds or a few minutes, that began that transformation for me and began the journey towards Sai Baba. Now, that was a short trip, and we went back to our hometown, the years rolled on, but after that initial really powerful experience, I started to communicate with Sai Baba mostly through letters, writing to him, and of course through our daily prayers and sadhana. Now, Swami may not always write you back a letter and you may not receive that piece of paper, but a sincere prayer, a sincere offering, a sincere question that is posed to Swami never ever goes unanswered. I have had numerous experiences where you ask that question with the utmost genuine intention and it's always answered. So the years rolled by, and in 2007, some of our brothers and sisters from the Southeast United States had an opportunity to visit Parthi, and we went as a group, and as a group we put in a lot of effort and a lot of sadhana to make ourselves better and transform ourselves before we go and visit our Lord. Now, that trip was another very memorable experience for me. It was the day when our group presented a program that we had prepared, and after the program, Swami came down from the stage. He was in a wheelchair at that point, and went around the men's group and the ladies group. Now, at the men's group, I was maybe on the second row of the men's group, and Swami came really close by, and again gave me that same look, that same intense, piercing stare that brought back memories of my very first darshan of Swami, maybe 5, 6, 7 years prior to that darshan, and again the same gesture which got the same feeling inside me, and again had the very calming and transformative effect. So you may forget about these experiences, but Swami doesn't forget about them. He doesn't let you forget about them. He will remind you again and again and help you on that journey of transformation, on that journey of making a better version of yourself and closer to God. So in conclusion, when people ask me about Sai Baba, or when I think about Swami, he's the master trainer, right? Our mind is like the wild horse that keeps running, but he is the master trainer who knows how to attract you towards him, to coach you, to guide you, and to help you really progress on your journey. I'm really thankful again to Swami for giving us this opportunity, and to the Sathya Sai Center for letting us share these experiences. I would like to conclude with a sincere prayer to Swami to really guide and bless all our devotees and all our brothers and sisters to continue on the path of service and transformation. Jai Sai Ram.